And we're back with the Lakers Snack Pack right here at the Lakers Fast Break Podcast. Thanking you, the viewers out there, especially you out there on YouTube, because officially last night, early this morning, we have gone over the 1,000 subscriber mark, and I'm truly, truly thankful and blessed for everybody out there for all their support. Raphael562, first one up, first one here. Thank you so much. Appreciate the kind words. We are over 1,000 subscribers on YouTube and going strong. If you're not yet a subscriber, please go ahead and hit the little Joe. That's right. So many people have hit the little Joe with the beady eyes in the right-hand corner of your YouTube screen. So go ahead and check it out today. Go ahead. So you can go ahead, hit it, subscribe. Get the latest notifications on when we go live on the air with the latest Lakers Fast Break, like later today with Empire Jeff TV. So go ahead and do that right away if you can. You're now part of the over 1,100 subscribers for us right here on YouTube. We are so thankful and blessed, and we thought we'd give you an extra treat, a little snack pack, as it were, because we have heard now so many times, yay, a subscriber. I got to go ahead and get these other guys to go ahead and record their greetings as well. But here today to talk about their thoughts and their thank yous to you out there. Plus, we're going to talk some FIBA and some Giannis Antetokounmpo as well. Good guys indeed. First man up, first man here. You know he's the mastermind behind Simblades. Simblades with the Y.com. Plus also as well, he's making sure that hair is terrific, like Pat Riley-ish. There you go. Whenever he goes on, it's Ox1947 at LakersBall.com. It is Joe Soro, and Joe... Oh, the Oxman indeed. 1,100 subscribers, man. We actually went over, almost 200 overnight. We've blown up, man. I don't know how we did it, but we got there, my friend, and I'm truly thankful for all the time that you spent with us right here at the Lakers Fast Break.
Yeah, it's been a very, very fun, I'd say, 16 months. I believe I arrived 2 years ago. I think that was the first show I was on. It was in August of 2021. And then from September, October, November, December, January, February, March, April, probably the 8 months after that, I was kind of like here and there. And then finally, I think around April of 2022, started noticing I was involved on a daily basis. And then here we are. What is it?
Sucked you right in.
Yeah, so 16 months
Al
later.
Pacino. It's so funny because he says that line, and then the next 2 minutes later, he drops dead. So that's the thing I would ask Coppola. Why did you put that line there? Why couldn't you have done it at another point in time in the trilogy?
It was so anticlimactic.
Yeah.
Like, it was so anticlimactic.
Maybe that was the point.
For number 2.
I don't know if he's that ironical, though, Joe. He's never been that ironical before.
It would have made more sense in 2 instead of 3. But then again, I digress. But
I think Gerald has a point, because didn't he go on to do The Island of Dr. Monroe?
Yeah, that's true.
Who?
What? No, not Cole. Was that Cole?
Not Brando. That was Brando.
That was Brando.
Yeah, that was Brando.
And he destroyed it. Him and Val Kilmer, I believe, was in it, right?
Yeah, that was.
They absolutely destroyed that movie.
Yes, that was.
The director, I think, wanted to jump off a cliff during.
Yeah, and the viewers did too after they watched that movie. But
poor guy.
It is the Lakers Fast Break. Joe, 1,000 plus subscribers now. It is truly a monumental feat for us here. Something we've always looked forward to and talked about ad nauseum, seemingly, to our audience. But now it's finally here. Where do you see this channel growing from here?
That's a good question. I don't see how this won't be the standard down the road. I'm seeing Lakers Fast Break as the beginnings of Siskel and Ebert I believe in the late 70s, when they put Gene Siskel with Roger Ebert. One was working at the Chicago Sun-Times. The other was across the street with the bourgeois Chicago Tribune, I believe. Mm-hmm. So they took these two at that time. You always have to focus on at that time, because it's easy to look at it now, right? But you had these two basically dopes. They looked like dopes. They dressed like dopes, talking face to face on TV about movies. And you're like, how the hell is this going to work? Well, the reason why it worked was at some point, their faces and their clothes took a back seat to the content. So people want to be entertained, and they were being entertained. At the same time, they start getting relevant information. Now, Roger Ebert was a little harsh when it came to movies, and some people resented that. But that's what brings an audience. I'm sure there's people out there that resent some of the things we say, but a lot of times that's what builds the traction. If you're sitting there and you want to be Charlie Brown and Mr. Rogers, I'm sure that'll work for a lot of people out there. But if you're looking for that here, you will never have it. As a matter of fact, it might get worse the more popular we get, because now we might start getting some feedback, and there'll obviously be some rebuttals with that feedback, because you're going to have to come with stuff. You're going to have to come with legitimate stuff. There are things that are opinionated. You can't really back up, right? Like, do you think Giannis is the best player in the league? Well, if some guy says yes and I say no, can't really back that up. Really, it's an opinion. But if you're going to sit there and tell me that the Lakers are not going to make the playoffs when you just traded for Anthony Davis and LeBron James is there, I'm probably not going to take you seriously. By the way, they won a championship that year too. Not only made the playoffs, they won a championship. So there's a lot of that stuff. A lot of that stuff that I think is going to continue to go up and up. And I'm actually looking forward to battling down the road with that. And of course, growing the show and making sure the production value continues to go up and up and up. That's the key here, guys. Production value must improve. We must entertain. We must give the audience what they want. There's going to be an audience, and it's building. They want what they're watching, and we're going to give it to them. And sometimes we're going to tell them stuff they don't want to hear, and sometimes they're going to tell us to go eat dirt. That's fine. You can do that. But I'm going to tell you to eat dirt too if you're not right. So just know that.
A lot of dirt eating here.
Well, I mean,
That tastes in my mouth.
It's a family show. I didn't think we wanted to say other things, but
of course,
it's a little less menacing.
This is true. This is true indeed. But also here today to thank our over 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. Good man indeed. He is the madman from Toronto. He did get out of Toronto traffic to say a special thank you to you out there, the viewer. It is the Magic Man, Sean Grice. And Sean, great to have you here, my friend, celebrating over 1,000 subscribers, something we've worked very hard for. Just truly appreciate it. We're now over 1,150 as we speak, seemingly going strong. We have done something right to someone out there, and we are very appreciative of that. We don't know who, we don't know why, we don't know how, but to hit 200 overnight is truly a special feat for us, and that's over 20% of our total subscribership. So we're just cannot be thankful enough for going ahead and doing something of that nature. Your thoughts, my friend, on hitting over 1,000 subscribers on YouTube?
I think it's incredible, Gerald. I still have the photo of August 21st, 2021, when we had 99, and now we're over 1,100, probably gonna hit 1,200 before the night's over. Hopefully, the way things are going, I just can't be more appreciative. First of all, to yourself and Joe. When we all started this, it was just kind of a collision of personalities, and we've made it work. We've hit on something.
Hopefully something good.
It's real. Yeah, it's real. It's genuine. It's authentic, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, behind the scenes, is what you see is what you get. Sometimes we agree, sometimes we disagree, but we all come back to the same point that we started. Gerald, you've been going down a dirt road with this organic growth, man. We didn't
What
take
is
the
this
highway.
with the dirt analogies here?
We didn't. Well, we didn't take the high. Well, it's a country saying. I mean, a highway
no
could
worries.
get you home.
We
but
don't want to say excrement.
Yes.
No,
I know, Joe.
well,
I
we could
know.
say terra firm. We could like that. That's a little nicer.
No worries, no worries,
but-
Sean. I'm just
Yeah,
pulling your
but
leg.
we didn't take the highway here, Gerald. This wasn't a fast entrance and exit to 1,000. We took the long road to get here organically, and it started with not only just building an audience, Gerald. That's one thing, but keeping the audience, because what our audience does is devote some of their precious time to this channel and to us. And that's what I think about before I get on here with you guys. I told you, but like before I come on here, I sort of have a routine, right? Like listen to music and you get into a mindset and a mind frame. And one of the concepts I have is that this audience, whom I love and respect, is giving us their time, and that's more precious than anything else on this planet for somebody to give you, and for them to keep coming back. We're doing something right, and I just don't want to veer off this path.
Once again, it's the Lakers Fast Break. We are thanking you, the viewers out there on YouTube and everywhere else, Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, wherever you catch us, as we have hit 1,000 plus subscribers on YouTube, and we are so grateful for it. We're doing a special Lakers snack pack for you. Joe, as we continue going past that 1,000 subscriber mark, and we're just looking to go ahead and do more and bigger things. I know that you've got a lot of plans, a lot of things in the fire, and a lot of things in the works for this channel. I wanted to ask you this, though. How is it going to grow as far as with the Lakers? What do you think that the individuals out there want besides more rants all the time from you, of course? What do you think it is specifically that they're looking for that you want to go ahead and make sure they get?
I think they're going to want to know that their thoughts are being validated. If they're thinking something's going on and they're not hearing it, which people are attached to these shows that are on TV, the first takes and all that. I don't know why. They're terrible shows because they have no substance. They're just cheap attention getting garbage, kind of like Howard Stern with naked women and midgets and weirdos. Circus. It's a circus. It's become a circus. I don't want us to ever be a circus. We don't need to be a circus. We don't need freak shows. We want to be an answer to questions. Why are the Lakers playing bad this particular week? The bigger we get, maybe we get more insider information in the sense of knowing what's really going on. You've had things that have come out in the past before. Maybe a little bit more detail would be kind of nice. Obviously, it's not going to come directly from the Lakers or the source, but maybe somebody that's hovering around. I won't get into the details too much, but 2011, a lot of the reasons why the Lakers faltered that year was there was some extracurricular activity going on with certain players and females. I'll just leave it at that. Things like that, almost kind of like a handicapper. I'm looking at this like a handicapper. I want information that's relevant to the stuff that's not kind of really, really out there. You being in Vegas only enhances the need for that, right? You're in Vegas. That's where most of this stuff permeates. It's like there's a scene in The Sopranos when Tony's trying to borrow the money he helped Carmela make, his wife. For those of you who haven't watched The Sopranos, God help you. And he's asking her for the money she made from a spec house she sold so that he can put it all on the charges, because he found out that a physical therapist basically diagnosed the quarterback with a severe injury. knowing that he would not perform well that game. And of course, the game plays, they get blown out, and instead of winning $1 million, he wins 10 grand because he didn't put enough money to do it. So those type of things are what I want to get into. If you want me to really truly guide this into the futures, it's not going to be all the time, but I want those instances when things like that are going on, good or bad. I want that kind of information at some point. So as we build this and as we become popular and as our faces become popular, and more importantly, our voices, our influence, right? Isn't that what everybody wants to call themselves, an influencer? I'm never going to call myself an influencer. I'm a commentator. I'm a observer. I am a person who is explaining something that I enjoy doing to those who enjoy listening. That's it. And I think that's where this can go. I think that's the ceiling. Being on other shows, answering questions, I'm sure that's going to be something down the road to help cross market. So I would say be prepared for that. But I'd say that the ceiling on this is being a voice for the team without being directly connected with the team. And maybe we can get lucky and have their respect too.
And Gerald, if I may add something here, I'm I think you know me by now. I'm a quote person. I like a quote to sort of put a cherry on top, emphasize something. So this is what Bob Marley said once. He said, and I won't do the accent because I can't do a good Jamaican accent.
We already are getting a Bob Marley biopic. That we'll just leave it at that.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
Yeah. Life is one big road with lots of signs. So when you're riding through the ruts, don't complicate your mind. Flee from hate, mischief, and jealousy. Don't bury your thoughts. Put your vision to reality. And that's what you've done, Gerald, and I've tried to emulate that. Put the vision to reality. You started out with an idea, and here we are. And I think we're just trying to continue on successfully because I've seen the hard work you've put into this, and I could never match it, but I try really hard, Gerald.
You do a great job, man. You do a great job. And Joe, he's here as well.
So I mean,
just kidding.
So when he says like life is filled with signs, it's true, Gerald. It's true. Like there's a great quote in Silver Linings Playbook when they're I don't want to ruin it for people, but they're in the dance hall and Pat Musitano Sr., Robert De Niro, walks up to his son, Pat Jr., and says, "You got to look at the signs. It's a sin not to look away from it's a sin to look away from the signs." And that signs followed me here. I'm a guy from Canada who was probably the biggest Laker fan in this nation, but I just happened to be dropped in to a universe with guys from the West Coast, and it's enriched my life, Gerald. This channel, what you've done, it's enriched my life. Thank you.
Wow, I was going to do the Joe sarcastic grab a Kleenex and do a tear thing going on there, but that I appreciate it, from bottom of my heart, man. Yeah, just appreciate everything that you've done. Ever since the Laker Tom introduced me to you and basically got you involved and sucked you right in doing the Al Pacino thing. You didn't get a heart attack the next 5 minutes later, so I'm glad for that. But once again, it is the Lakers Fast Break. We are celebrating 1,000 subscribers, but we're also talking a little bit more about the NBA and FIBA. Before we hit up what's going on with FIBA, because actually Magic Man was up early for us here on the West Coast, looking at some stuff on playback. He was there earlier watching some of the FIBA games. Joe, you heard some interesting comments from Giannis Antetokounmpo. And people are, of course, like they did with Joel Embiid earlier this summer, are trying to extrapolate some words that were sent in regards to a possible, maybe not everything is so happy in Milwaukee type situation there.
So this is the first time I've heard Giannis get on a would it be a soapbox? Not a soapbox, right? It's more of a
It sounded like a soapbox. He basically said that he won't sign an extension until he sees a title commitment from the Bucks.
Okay, I'm trying to understand what that means based off the information I have. The Bucks are have the fourth largest payroll in the NBA. They have a viable number two. Viable. I mean, would you argue that Middleton isn't a perfect number two?
When he was healthy, he was.
Okay. So
he may not be now.
Okay, and then you have a runner-up defensive player of the year. You just re-signed. You just re-signed your number two. Bobby Portis, Drew Holiday. I don't really know where this came from, unless there's something going on inside, which is probably what it is, where Giannis is seeing something probably fall apart down the road.
Maybe it's the hiring of that new coach that is not a established title-winning coach.
Yeah, Adrian Griffin, former head assistant to Nick Nurse in Toronto.
He has a lot of time in the league as a former journeyman player, which journeyman players often succeed as NBA coaches, but it is his first year.
Yes, but what was next? Would he be happy?
Could see a Darvin Ham deal though. You could put the comparisons there for Darvin.
I don't know why he would say this other than I don't even think it's the new coach. I think there's something going on in that organization that might not smell very well for him. And maybe he feels that they might be resting on their 2021 title. That's what happens a lot of times when it comes to these Midwest once in a one-time win will do. It's happened to Dallas. It's happened to Cleveland. It's happened to some degree Cleveland. I know LeBron was there, but he ended up leaving, obviously. So you've had, let's say, Dallas, one and done. Cleveland, one and done. Milwaukee, right now, they look like they're one and done. I'm predicting Denver is going to be one of those teams that's one and done. Toronto, to some degrees, one and done. So if he's worried about them being one and done and not being focused to be multiple, then I see why he would say what he's saying. And if that's the case, then I think regardless if they're showing what they want to do or not, I think Giannis would do himself a disservice by not playing the field in 2025, knowing the Lakers have an open spot. You want to talk about marketing? You want to talk about the amount of, just hysteria? If Giannis says I'm opting out of my last year to test free agency, and he can still be respectful with Milwaukee guys. I've never been a free agent. I want to test it, and here I am. That's where this can go in a respectful way. And then it'll be the Lakers' job and Anthony Davis, hopefully another title, between now and then, saying, Giannis, this is going to be your team. You're going to have a 33-year-old Anthony Davis that probably has another 2 or 3 years left. You'll have a shot at winning a championship while in those 2 or 3 years, and then we'll be prepared to supplant Anthony Davis after that with another superstar. I think this is great news for the Lakers. I'll tell you that. I'd be scared in my boots. This isn't the first time the Lakers have gotten some big player in Milwaukee before. So I wouldn't mind having it happen twice. That'd be pretty good. And by the way, that same Milwaukee player won a championship in Milwaukee. So why not come play in LA and win a championship in LA?
History repeating itself.
It does. It always does, doesn't it?
It's a little bit of history repeating.
Yes. Now, the cool thing about that, too, is would LeBron take the minimum if he still wants to play?
With Giannis and AD, I think he would really jump at that chance to do that.
He's not going to take them. What are you, crazy?
Because remember, he's got not the minimum, but he would take something.
Yeah, I think he might take an MLE to do that.
I don't think so.
So he wouldn't want to. He wouldn't want to go ahead and jump on the chance to be on a super team like that with Giannis.
No, I don't think he would need to. I think he'd leave or retire. I think he's retiring after 2025. Honestly, I think it's the best time to go.
You think he's waiting for Bryce? No longer Bronny?
I don't think that's any of that stuff's going to happen.
We'll see. So, like, if he thinks he could play till 42 or 43, he will, Joe. If he thinks he can, he will.
You saw Tom Brady do it.
Yeah, that's what I think he's angling. He's thinking hard about it. Let's put it that way. I'm with Joe. I think 2 years and he's probably done.
What age did Tom Brady win a title at?
44.
There you go.
Can the basketball player last to 44?
The way the game is called today, I mean, if anybody could experiment to see if you could do it or not, he could.
Yeah.
He could.
It's not like he's going to stop dribbling at the Y.
Yeah, Gerald's right. Yeah.
He's going to stay in shape. It's not like he's going to just like sit on a lawn chair and let himself go.
Yeah, no, this isn't, he's going to, exactly. He's going to become just drinking a bottle of wine a day. No, I don't think so.
I don't think.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say Empire Jeff. I don't think he's going to go the Vince Carter route where he's going to only show up, be at the end of the bench and score 4 points a game. I think that's asking for a little bit much, but I do think that he'll try to have the Kareem type career where he maybe stays a little bit longer than he should have.
I think so. I think that might end up being the case.
Because remember, Kareem had the last year he scored only 7 points a game.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And obviously, like
his last year was 7 points a game?
Yes.
I believe so.
Yes.
He's looking it up now because he doesn't.
But getting kind of redirecting back to the Giannis comments, Gerald. Yeah, I wanted to kind of piggyback off what you were saying there. Not only the 10?
10.
Yeah, 10.
Sorry.
Well, it was pretty close.
Thanks for getting that wrong, Gerald.
Pretty good. Pretty good guess. Anyway,
you're thinking Kobe scored 7 points his rookie year. That's what you're thinking.
No, I wasn't thinking Kobe scored.
Yeah,
I'm thinking Kareem at the end of his. No, don't tell me what I was thinking.
I'm telling you. I just told you.
No, you don't tell me what I was thinking.
7.6. You knew it. I know it. You know it. Petting my cat knows it.
No.
Magic's man's neighbor knows it.
That's not true.
Yeah,
Don't tell me what. Okay, if you're a mind reader, you should hop over here on a plane to Las Vegas. Mind read on some of what's going on as far as the numbers. Bet on it.
I'm not going anywhere.
I'm staying right here.
I'm staying right here.
Then you don't know anything.
I know everything.
Gerald, I keep
1,000 subscribers.
So I keep up with the news a little bit, especially in the United States. So, like you said, the whole coaching staff dynamic is interesting there because they bring in, like you said, a journeyman basketball player, and it feels like a journeyman assistant coach to take the reins. Mm-hmm. And now, what was interesting to me, Gerald, is John Hammond left in the middle of the run. He built that team up to where they were, and he left for an Orlando job, which on the face of it, a lot of people would think. So he built up this small market team, and they're in the middle of a championship run, and now he's vamoosing on down to South Florida. Kind of makes you think. Well, if I'm not mistaken, Mark Lazary sold his position as Buck's minority owner because he wants to pursue, I believe, a Senate run in the United States Senate, gentlemen, if I'm not mistaken. I've heard those rumors. Yes.
Correct.
So obviously somebody in management heard whispers of that and was like, goodbye. You know, that kind of sounds like there's, like Joe was saying, like some kind of fly in the ointment. And now maybe that whiff or that stink has gone to Giannis, and he's starting to think, are they really committed to what I'm committed to? Not sure. But I know the Lakers are, because I've seen them do it time and time again. And I know the Heat are, because I've seen them do it time and time again. Raises questions. That's all. That I think that's what Joe was saying. It just raises a lot of questions about Giannis's mindset.
Yeah, I believe Giannis can play this very, very well. He can play it like LeBron has played it his entire career. LeBron has never demanded a trade. LeBron has played the system the way you're supposed to play it as a professional. And I'm not saying.
But when he says, though, with a commitment, I don't understand.
It doesn't make sense, because it doesn't make sense. Why? I don't know. As of right
they
now,
they re-signed Lopez. They paid.
It's not about. Then it's not about that. It's not about that, because that makes zero sense. You're talking about a team. I don't even know what would be the an 18th, 20th TV market. Milwaukee, would it be the 18th, 20th market in out of the 30? Maybe even less. Maybe 22. You're talking about a, let's say, low 20 TV market, Midwest, cold, snow. No one wants to live in Milwaukee, especially if you're rich and young and want to be at the beach and be in good weather, right? Who the hell is going to want to go there? No one. How is it that they're not committed based off a payroll that's number 4 out of the 30? That part doesn't make any sense. And they're not only they've re-signed good talent that's won,
just
talent that's valuable.
Middleton,
Portis, Holiday, Brook Lopez hasn't won a champ. Brook wasn't on the championship team in 2021.
Yeah,
was he?
Yeah, he was.
Oh, he was.
Yeah,
okay.
He was.
So yeah. So you already have a championship team that's relatively still viable and young.
Yay!
And you've signed all of them. You've signed all of them for 2 years, 2 more years. And I guess in 2026, most of those guys, other than Drew Holiday, I think Drew Holiday has an opt-out next year. But almost everyone that's relevant is geared towards 2 more years of winning a championship. So is he talking about, does he think that they're going to stop trying to win after the 2025 season? Cool. That's fine. That'll work. Just go ahead and wait it out and test the market. Don't resign. Test the market. But then again, if they offer him a supermax next year, are you going to risk it? I wouldn't.
But again, the question remains: what is going on behind the scenes that's constituting this rhetoric, Sean, from Giannis Antetokounmpo? As Joe says, kind of makes you wonder again, because on the surface, you think outside of the hiring of a new coach, brand new to the head coaching gig, outside of that, the fact that they have re-signed Brook Lopez, the fact that they did extend a iffy Chris Middleton because he is going to be iffy going forward. And also they have Drew Holiday on the horizon. They're probably going to have to go ahead and take care of on another contract as well. If you think he still has some tread left on the tires there. Your thoughts on this, my friend, because on the surface, as Joe says, with the number 4 payroll, it seems like Milwaukee is trying to make a commitment to win a championship.
Yeah, Gerald, it does. It does. And look, when you just naked eye the roster, it looks pretty strong. It looks like a championship roster. But go into the weeds a little bit, as Gerald noted, Chris Middleton is now an injury history, and if he hurts his ankle, he's not out for a week anymore. He's likely out for 2.5, 3 weeks. And Giannis, if his knees get sore or if he's got inflammation or any kind of tendonitis, they're going to shut him down for a couple weeks. And as Joe said, Holiday has 1 year left and a player option. There's been a lot of smoke that Drew Holiday's probably going to finish his career in Milwaukee. Now, the question is it going to be sooner rather than later? So, Gerald, when the Bucks went into this offseason, what struck me was that the biggest name in their roster that they were hoping would make an impact was Andre Jackson Jr., who is coming off of a collegiate career, Gerald. He hasn't even played a game as a pro, and I see a lot of Buck pods and just Buck fans putting a lot of pressure on a kid who was a second round pick, and you're expecting him to come in and be a world beater because there's trepidation and nervousness that this might be a house of cards, Gerald. Yeah. Drew gets hurt, Chris gets hurt, Giannis gets hurt. Can't put Humpty Dumpty back together again. And as Gerald and Joe have said before, Giannis is paying attention to all this subtly. He's not big. He's not big going to the media. Very similarly to Anthony Davis. I mean, kind of 2 peas in a pod when it comes to how to handle the media, Gerald. Although Giannis did have that little incident with Malika Andrews, but other than that, he's handled himself, like as Joe has said, like very well, at least like politically, with the NBA media, and not only traversing, how to handle, pressure and dealing with executives. And it seems like he's side-eyeing the Bucks now, Gerald. That word, like you said, committed, that seems like it's a side-eye. Like, I'm really not sure right now.
But is this going to be the norm, guys, going forward, where if there's any slight, miscalculation by any team or just any slight thing that gets the star players in a wrong direction, they're going to be side-eyeing. They're going to be giving you that LeBron famous backhanded compliment that makes you kind of wonder and think what's going on, as we've seen now from Joel Embiid and now Giannis Antetokounmpo. Is Luka Doncic next? Is who's after him? That could be, is Victor Wembanyama after his second year in San Antonio? Is he next? What's next? I understand Joe does not like the fact that player empowerment, and Todd discussed this. I personally am in favor of it, but it's the fact that if your team is not doing well and you're unhappy about it and you're the star player, that's one thing. You should have every right to complain. When it comes to Giannis Antetokounmpo, and unless there's something behind the scenes that we don't know, it really, the optics of when he's saying it, as far as what Milwaukee's trying to do to stay afloat at the top of the Eastern Conference, it kind of makes you wonder exactly what is Milwaukee not doing as a small market team, Joe, to get this team over the hump. They got the team over the hump in 2021. They are a recent winner. They still have the core of that championship roster. What is not pleasing Giannis to make him go ahead and saying what he's saying?
Last year was the coach making bad decisions.
Oh yeah, absolutely, and Grayson Allen, the whole 9 yards, absolutely.
Yeah, and that Budenholzer has been stubborn on a lot of things.
Now, is he so mad about Budenholzer being let go? Is that why he's saying it?
I hope not, because Budenholzer has cost the Bucks probably 2 championships in just bad decision making. You want to give Milwaukee the I don't know. I don't even know if I could do that for losing in the first round and really getting your ass whooped the whole time.
Yeah.
You need to put Giannis on Jimmy Butler. I'm some guy in a room talking basketball.
If
Like no
Giannis
one
is
knows.
supposed to be the all, do everything kind of guy, and he's supposed to be the defensive player of the year, yada, 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 he is the guy. We've talked about this, Joe. He is the guy you're supposed to put on their
in
top
his
guy
prime,
in crucial moments.
in shape,
Mhm.
you use him. If he was in his early 30s, okay, I get it. This guy's in his prime. Use him. You have to win this game. If Giannis can't handle it, at least you go out fighting. I don't understand this preserving, this Dave Roberts, Andrew Friedman brain of these people, right? Are you just about winning regular season games? Are you just always about what's later? Play for now. Win now. Win now. Don't worry about tomorrow. If you don't make it till tomorrow, you tried. But it's worse if you're playing back and don't win. Then what was the point? What are you saving up for? For what? Play honest. He's one of the few ever to do what he's done. Offense and defense. MVP and Defensive Player of the Year. Use him. You use him on Jimmy Butler. His length alone could have slowed him down a little bit.
Because you're already seeing he's having knee troubles. He had knee surgery this offseason. So, could the clock be running out?
Kobe said many times he had swelling in his knee the size of a softball. These guys all play hurt throughout the year. Do you play hurt? Can you play hurt, or are you injured? You play hurt. Kobe played with a broken shooting trigger finger. Won a championship doing that. How the hell are you shooting the ball with a broken finger? How? Especially your release point finger. Yeah. Right? Are you going to be excuses? Are you going to wait? Excuses and wait. That's life. Right? How do you get rid of excuses and waiting in your life? Getting rid of waiting is you do it your damn self. And as far as getting rid of excuses, stop making them. A good excuse is still an excuse. Oh, I broke my leg yesterday and I had to go to the hospital.
A good excuse is a poor reason to not go all the way.
Right? Okay, well, depending on the circumstance, let's say you need to deliver insulin for a diabetic and you broke your leg on the way over there. Here's my response to that. You have to have a backup. I understand you broke your leg, but this is important. If you're delivering some pie to your wife, okay, that's not a big deal. This is insulin for people. They might die. You have to have a backup. So when I talk about good excuse is still an excuse, that's what I mean. You have to have a backup. People are going to die if you don't make it there, regardless if you broke your leg or not. Have a backup. So stop with the excuses. Figure it out. If you're not up to that challenge, go do something else. Go sit in an office where they don't really need you. Go do TPS reports. If you break your leg, they got another schmuck that could come in 5 seconds later to do a TPS report, right? So that's the point. Point is, stop making excuses and do the goddamn job. Okay? If you're not succeeding because the other team outplayed you, hey, I did everything I could. Giannis tried to guard Jimmy Butler. We got burnt. And Budenholzer might have a job still. I don't know. But at least if I'm Budenholzer and I go in to talk to management, guys, I put my best defensive player on their best offensive player who was killing us. And what do you want me to do? I can't tell Giannis to play better. It is what it is. And if I'm ownership or I'm management, I'm going, yeah, well, we just didn't play well that day. But if you're deliberately not using that weapon for whatever reason, well, look at the results. I'm not the only one that thought it. They're the one that fired him. Am I overreacting? I don't think so. They fired him.
So Laker Tom, who we love so much on this show, instantly when he heard that reaction to that, already has designs on getting Giannis to the Los Angeles Lakers, Sean. As you know, that always happens. I'm surprised. No, actually, you know what? He didn't do a Joel Embiid
No, he
trade
didn't.
scenario.
No, he
Yeah,
didn't.
that kind of surprises me, man. I've just realized that. But usually he does.
Yeah,
He can't be.
normally
Is he
does.
slipping? I'm gonna have to
No,
ask Laker Tom. Is this something?
no. I don't
Is
think
it
he's slipping. I think
okay?
it's a matter of taste in that
Okay.
instant.
Okay.
I
He doesn't think he would be a good fit with AD. I'm sure.
correct. That's what I think Tom would say. Although he'd probably commend him for being an excellent elite basketball player. He just doesn't like the fit.
Although if Embiid just knocked on Rob Pelinka's door and said, "Hey, yeah, you can come right on in," there you go. But
Can you imagine the look on AD's face when Rob would say, "Hey, Anthony, we finally found a 5 for you."
yeah, exactly.
He'd probably fall off the chair, honestly.
Exactly.
But yeah, But Gerald, that this is why Tom's been such a success in his life, because him and Joe, great minds think alike. Joe thought the same thing about Giannis and side-eyeing Milwaukee and probably looking at California, and Tom likely thought the same thing and likely made the same connection about Kareem. Again, I think it's interesting. And again, the Lakers have kind of set the table for that because, they don't have a lot of money committed outside of Austin Reeves and Rui over the next after the next 2 years.
Well, they could trade those. Those
and
are
they
very
could trade
tradable.
those, right?
Let's
Yes.
say Austin Reeves goes south, even though Tom Tibbs and we all agree that he could be a very, very good player in the league. Most likely he will be. Let's say it goes south for some reason with him or Rui or just any, even for instance, Gabe Vincent, who also has a 3-year contract. You could easily trade those off if you had an inkling, if agent of Giannis or Embiid or any star player next season wants to say, "Hey, I want to come aboard."
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And far be it from, like almost 10 years ago now, when the Lakers couldn't wrangle up a couple of second-round picks for Julius Randle because they were trying to clear some space off the books. But yeah, Joe, those contracts, some people, again, the Rui one is a little overpay, sure, but as Gerald has said, they're quite they're tenable contracts for management to say to ownership, we can bring these guys in, they have a record of success, and like Gerald was saying, if they slip a little in LA, you can always rationalize it by saying, well, all they needed was a change of scenery.
So I don't want to really get our hopes up too high
No.
on something like that. But yeah, it's something that, again, if it does happen where he wants out, obviously we're a place and a destination that could accommodate with the right package. But Joe, it's very interesting to see all the rhetoric anytime a star player even does the side eye, as you said, and does the actual conversations that they are with the press, that they're looking in other directions, that they don't feel that they're getting their just reserves where they're at. It's interesting to see how the Lakers almost always seem to fall in play on that. But before we head on out, my friend, any last thoughts on Giannis, and before we touch up with Sean on what's going on with the FIBA?
Yes, come to LA in 2025, please.
There you go. How about
I don't give a crap about Milwaukee, Budenholzer, Haslam, Brewers, Beer, Kareem in 71. I don't care about any of that.
Haslam? He's on my
minority owner of Milwaukee.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Haslam. Jimmy Haslam.
Okay, I thought you were talking about Udonis Haslam.
No. No. Joe
finally retired from the Miami Heat.
I don't care about Udonis Haslam. I don't care about the Miami Heat. Giannis, come to LA summer of 2025, win a championship with AD. Hopefully AD will be going on his 3rd championship with you. Let's keep stacking. I want 20 banners before I die.
That's it?
At least 20.
That means you'll be dead by 50.
20 championships. sounds really, really good. 17 is okay. I want to see 20.
No, we need a round
30
number.
before
We need to get back to a round number.
I mean,
That's
it'd be
what we
nice.
need.
How do you say the 20-time world NBA champions?
We need round numbers. We need round numbers. We need
20.
18,
I might get
20,
one of those jackets
22,
then.
10.
24,
20.
26, 28. Let's get some round numbers again.
I might get one of those jackets.
Maybe
that has
in
all
our
the years of
lifetime,
championship on the back where it fills up the entire jacket.
Maybe in our lifetime, we can catch the Yankees. Yankees have 27.
So while somebody comes by with their so much prized and beloved Milwaukee Bucks 2021 championship to go along with the champ, was it they 1972 or what was the year that they won?
Yeah, it was 71-72.
Okay, so they're so proud of themselves with them on the back. Hey, they got the 2 years that they won the championship. Then you come by, Sean, with your jacket with 20. Hey, what's up, bro? What's up?
Hey guys.
Got my 20.
We got to catch the Canadians first, actually.
Yeah, they have 23.
Yeah, that's true.
Montreal has 23.
That's why I said 30 before I die. There you go.
They want to say they have 24. I keep having to remind them. No, they do not have 24. They have 23.
Luca thinks Ham is the perfect coach for Giannis.
I do too.
Thoughts? Okay.
Yeah, I agree.
I'd like Luca's a very smart guy. Hopefully he can expound on that in the comments. I'd like to hear more about that, but I agree on the surface.
I agree on the surface as well. But once again, it is the Lakers Fast Break. We truly appreciate you joining us. We're celebrating 1,000 subscribers on the special Lakers snack pack just for you. But before we head on out, Sean, can you give us an update what's going on with FIBA? We know tomorrow at a sparkling 5:40 in the morning here that the Team USA will be playing their next game, their first game actually when it comes to World Cup actual qualifying and game in the Philippines. But your thoughts so far, what's taken place in FIBA?
Yeah, Gerald, I was up early this morning watching my countrymen battle La France, the frog. We will show you who you cocked the frog. Anyway, it was a very competitive game in the first half, Gerald. It was a real nail biter, and I was keep letting everybody in the email thread know about it, and then Shai Gilgeous-Alexander took over in the second half, Gerald. It was
player.
Yeah, man. 19 points in the second half. I believe Canada outscored France 52-16. It was just 65. No, 25. It was a dominant performance. I've never seen a Canadian basketball team that dominant on the international stage, Gerald. So, and they really needed that game more than France did, because I don't think Canada wants to be in a situation where they have to play Spain in the knockout stages. And I think they'd rather leave that for France. Mo Wagner, former Laker, had a huge game, 25 points, 9 boards. I thought that game would be a little bit more competitive, but Germany beat Japan, Gerald, 81-63. Karl Anthony Towns had a great game, Gerald. Again, those 3 would probably be the players of the night. Patty Mills gets honorable mention as well. Australia beat Finland, so it's the only real competitive game so far. We'll have to wait for tomorrow, because there weren't any today. There was blowouts all across the scoreboard.
I have a feeling Patty Mills will play until his 40s. I think he'll play in his 40s. At least in as far as
his game is ageless. He just seems that game of his is ageless.
Yeah, he may in his last year in the NBA, but he'll continue on in FIBA. That's for sure. But yeah, just a great update. Tomorrow, when we go on the air tomorrow, we're going to go ahead and make sure you get a Team USA update as well. Or this weekend, we'll definitely go ahead and do that. Make sure at some point this weekend you will have a full Team USA update. So looking forward to that. Getting a confirmation on the Lakerholics for this weekend. We'll make sure we provide some type of Lakerholic spotlight for you, even if it is or without Jamie. Make sure I'll get Laker Tom here. Make sure we get something started. Make sure we'll have some type of Lakerholics. We've got you covered. Now that we're over 1,000 subscribers, we got you covered here. We'll try to do the best we can to be on at least 6, maybe 7 days a week. We're going to try and do what we can. Make sure that we still have our sanity and our time off with our families to make sure that we have, obviously a fresh time to go ahead and be with our family, but also make sure that we're fresh for you as well, because we do enjoy talking to you here at the Lakers Fast Break. But Joe, since you're all, kumbaya and got that happy mood.
No,
and being
you are, not me.
Well, I'm trying to be complimentary out there to everybody out there, including our families who have been able to put up with us for doing this.
My family's
for so long.
fine. Whatever's going on with your place, that's you.
Oh, they're fine too.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
All right, whatever. But Joe, any last thoughts before we head on out? No NBA news as of yet outside of Giannis, so I don't.
No, we're slowly getting into the true dead time of the year. We're probably another 3 weeks away from finally getting to that sweet spot of training camp, and then good stuff coming out of training camp, and who's going to do this and who's going to do that. So yeah, we're going to have to dig in a little bit more here and have some good stuff for our guys and our men and women who watch our show to keep them entertained, and we will.
Absolutely. And we will indeed. Just want to let you know, Magic is lining up something for Monday as far as our continual coverage as far as the NBA team and their team reports. I've got a confirmation for Wednesday for the Chicago Bulls. Looking forward to that conversation as well. So really, really hoping we can go ahead and provide more to you as well. Wow. Just continue the great support for us. We're now over 1,160 subscribers strong, and cannot thank you enough for doing so. So Magic Man, again, you wanted a little bit of a snack pack for us, for our great audience out there. Any last thoughts from you before we head on out?
Humbled as always, Gerald, just by not only the audience that we have, but the fact that we're just continually being able to have these audience members come back and give us their valuable time to discuss something we all love. And I'm just glad we all found each other. Onward and upward.
It's now that, Joe, you should be doing the back and forth. Go ahead, Sean.
Onward and upward, and to quote Kobe Bean Bryant, what's next?
See, that's when you should be doing the whole right there. Oh, and last but not least, here, a good man indeed, Laker Nick, stopping by. Truly appreciate you stopping by on the program, my friend. What's going on?
Yeah, Gerald, what's up, Joe? What's up, Sean? I just wanted to hop on real quick and say congratulations on the 1,000 mark.
Couldn't have done without you, my friend.
And I know that you guys won't say it, but all these men on the panel have worked extremely hard to get to this point. It's not a miracle. And, I'm sure that there's going to be much more subscribers to come. And it's no easy feat. I mean, the graveyard runs deep of YouTube channels, podcasts that never reached the 1,000 subscriber mark. And so I definitely want to hop on and say that it's not a minimal accomplishment. It's huge. And, I think it's indicative of good things, better things to come.
I do want to go ahead and answer a question from PMC. When do you guys get monetized? Super chats in the chat, et cetera. I will tell you that I am going to reach out to YouTube today on that. I know we talked about something about Archaic, that they have to send me something in the mail. For a big, huge company that's digitally based, they still send you stuff in the mail in order that you go ahead, and it allows you to go ahead and get monetized and all that. Plus also the super chats, I will ask them about that as well. You can go ahead and help us out if you decide to do so, and it is truly appreciated. Follow the path of Darren. Give big shout out to Darren, who is our first audio subscriber for our audio podcasts on Spotify. If you follow us there, go ahead and do so. If you support us, we're going to try and make something special for our audio subscribers because we were so overwhelmed by Darren doing that the other day. Joe and I and Sean have already got plans on doing something special over there, but Laker Nick, again, from all of us to you, my friend. We are so indebted to you for all your support and help behind the scenes. And I'm so grateful whenever you get a chance to come on the air or on playback as well.
No, it's great to have some visibility behind the scenes on what the LFB does, and just from just to let the audience know that Sean, Gerald, and Joe work extremely hard. Everything from trying to get more personalities on air to putting on shows, sometimes multiple times per day, at odd hours. All that requires a lot of dedication, time, which is precious. It's a limited resource, and I know they have. Joe has big plans coming up with merchandise and all of that, so everybody should stay tuned.
Absolutely. Stay tuned indeed. Laker Nick, we are truly indebted for all your help. Joe and Sean, the same thing. Magic Man, of course, everything that you've done for us. Laker Tom, Jamie, L Rob, John McCallion, everybody who's been a part of our show. Big shout out to each and every one of you. Please support what they do. John McCallion on YouTube, Lakerholics.com, Joe Soros, Sin Blades, LakersBall.com, and of course, what I do at the Pop Culture Cosmos, Inside Sports Fantasy Football, and of course, everything that we do right here at the Lakers Fast Break Podcast.